Welcome back. Let's talk a little politics, New York style right now. It'll bring in our very patient panel, TJ McCormick, host of Good Morning Westchester on WVOX Radio 1460. I thought it was a good show. Political journalist and author, of course, Dominic Carter. Evan Thies, founder of Brooklyn Strategies and a former aide to Andrew Cuomo, and Andrew, who you already met. All right. First up is Albany corruption. It's been the story that's dominated headlines, and it's not just in Albany, it's been statewide. And while no one was arrested today yet, many questions still remain. And Evan, I got to ask you, Eric Adams, one of the names mentioned here right now, active client, former?
Yes,
active
client. Great guy. Future borough president, Brooklyn.
And he's got many questions, apparently, that people want to know.
Yeah.
He was one of the people reportedly that was caught in some of those wiretap conversations. Yeah. Does he have anything to worry about?
No. Look, scandal fever is sweeping Albany and New York City, and unfortunately he was swept up in it, and that's really too bad. I mean, this is a good guy who's trying to run for borough president, and the people of Brooklyn deserve to make a real choice here. And this cloud that's hanging over because of this terribleness around Shirley Huntley and her tapes is affecting a lot of people that really shouldn't be dragged into this mess, and he's one of them, and that's really unfortunate. So, look, he's out there, he's addressing it, he's trying to make sure the people of Brooklyn and others know.
One of the questions about him is the South Korea trip in 2011. What can you tell us about that?
Well, actually, it's funny you bring that up. There should be a letter to the editor in the Times-Union tomorrow about that, which details in very specific detail exactly what happened on that trip. And the first thing that people need to know is that no government money was used for it. This was money that he spent himself, that he raised, and he earned his personal money and campaign money that he spent on it. And they documented every step of that trip. It's online on his website. He put it up the day after the trip.
Out there and,
well, this was unfortunately 2 years before Gangnam Style. By the way, this is 2 years ago, and the Times-Union, which did a story on this Monday, also did a story on 2 years ago.
He's really got nothing to worry about on this.
Look, this is a great legislator with a great history and a great person. And
but apparently, it's not just the allegation is it's not just out of his own pocket, Evan. This is fundraising money too.
Yeah. No, that's right. I mean, look, he raised money for his campaign. I want my elected official to pay his own way, both raising and earning money, to go find new technologies for New York. Okay, if it's a government-funded thing, then we should be asking questions about it.
You're close to this too, and guys, and Dominic, jump in here. I'm hearing more names are coming out. I don't know which names. You too?
One of the interesting things we found out, by the way, was that in the state legislature, in the state senate, in the chamber, there's a chair nearest to the door where the person under investigation. That's now a couch, and I couldn't wait. I wrote that in the no, but anyway, I think this is a fascinating time. I think they are all running scared. That was fabulous, by the way. You're doing a great job. You just earned a big chunk of campaign money.
That was going to be my point. I want to hire you.
It's easy to tell the truth.
Shirley Huntley have an axe to grind with Eric Adams?
I don't know, but let me tell you, this is a person that he considered a personal friend, and like a lot of the people that she brought into her spider's web, and it was really, I think, shocking to these people. But
she recorded people that she thought were doing something that the FBI needed to know about.
Look, it became clear when they went to court over this last week for her sentencing that she has an axe to grind with Attorney General Eric Schneiderman. And she's made a point of talking about him in all of these different documents, making a case about one of his aides that she thought was involved in this.
She's looking to score points with the prosecutor. She's going to cast a wide net and try to score as many points as possible.
When you're falling out of the tree, try to grab onto the strongest branch on your way down.
Yes, exactly.
And that's what she's trying to do.
Evan, you'll like this. Going to change the subject. And next is fundraising numbers that came at the New York City Mayoral Race, and they're now out. In the past couple months, Bill Thompson, he raised the most, followed by Joe Loda, which may surprise some folks here, the Republican candidate, and Christine Quinn was third. My question is, Dom, I guess you're not surprised because you thought Thompson was going to close and in the end pass Quinn here, but nonetheless.
Always thought it.
Loda?
Not surprising at all. He's got America's mayor behind him, Rudy Giuliani.
So what? Registrations?
But it's not so what. Rudy can hold a fundraiser and basically shake the money tree. And that's exactly what they're doing. You have Randy Mastro, another deputy mayor under Giuliani. Giuliani, when you're his boy, when you're his guy, you're his guy. Giuliani has said that he would have endorsed Bill Thompson if Loder was not running. So the numbers, what's surprising is this race is almost over before it gets started.
Well, it's
That's
funny
what's
you
surprising.
mentioned what
Thompson's
Bill
about
Thompson
to run
had
away
say.
with this thing.
It's funny what you said about that. Hey, if it wasn't for Loder, I'd get Thompson. Al D'Amato
is raising money
and
for
he's savage. Ms. Quinn here.
Yes.
I
I didn't like that. I thought it was rather unfortunate.
And it was too much, don't you think?
It was too much.
For those
I
who
know
didn't catch
Senator,
it, he
I'm
mocked
sorry.
her for her revelations that she had combat both alcoholism, a recovering alcoholic, and also bulimia, eating disorder, that in her late 20s she faced both and that she beat them. And she shared this now. Part of it is that she went to the Times to say, I've got a story to tell. And then also
And
she
that
had an
she's a
appearance
woman.
at
People are
Barnum.
playing a violin. She's a woman. If Al D'Amato was leveling that at a
Richard,
man, we
a little
wouldn't be
bit of
feeling
a
so
cheap
bad
shot.
about it.
But remember, I
Cheaper
told you,
'cause she's a woman.
the cynic Dominic would go, wait a minute, why is she doing this now? But I've seen Christine Quinn
Yeah.
for years before she ran for mayor, when she was meeting with victims and women when there were no cameras there. And she was just there on her own. So it's a bit of a cheap shot by Senator D'Amato.
Do you think
He
good
knows
politics, what she did, or do you think that this was...
Would have been better politics if she had been more upfront about that in years past. The timing is a little funky, you know. I'm a drunk. I talk about it all the time.
You're
you
not
know,
running for mayor,
but you know, I'm not running for mayor. But I mean, but when I do.
Okay,
No,
Mr. Mayor,
spoiler.
Mr. Mayor.
No. You know, I just think, you know, I think that's something.
Oh, you like
it's an
this on the radio?
I like that sort of stuff. Sometimes
actually pretty fun.
I like that sort of stuff sometimes when it's done organically. Put it that way. I like to. I would love to have seen that come in a moment in a press conference.
Would you have, and I asked this question yesterday,
Yeah.
Chris Shays and Richard Brodsky, I said, is this circled on the calendars when you're laying this out? All right, this is where we're going to get out the human side. This is where we're going to get out the story of beating adversity in my youth.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, I mean, Obama perfected this when he had his memoir out at the beginning of his first campaign, and they have the memoir coming out. That's why all this juicy stuff is being released the way it is, in the way that it is.
Give him that time story that showed her to be both vindictive and calculating Christine Quinn.
But let
that
me
now
tell you
all of a sudden
something.
This rebuts the narrative.
Look, I'm sure that they are trying in some way soften her up. I think it's a mistake to do that, by the way. New York City voters like tough people, and they're going to vote for a person that they think is going to be tough in that job. So if they're going to soften her up, maybe it's just to personalize her, but not make her look weak, because she's not.
I would just point out Thompson raised more than Quinn did, but not a lot more. This thing's not over yet. We still have a long ways to go.
Yeah.
I learned not to bet against Dominic.
It's almost over. It's almost over.
TJ, Dominic, Evan, guys, thank you so much for the times. Andrew, I know the thing flew by. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow at 6.